Thank you. Thank you. Now, can I just check? Everybody can hear me, yeah? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Listen, I am honoured with your presence. Look at this for a group of people. Thank you so much. Yeah. It's going to be my pleasure to share a bit of my experience with you guys today and girls, and really talk about the theme of what we're all about today. It's be the best person you ever met. I mean, it's so important. One of the things that I learned very early on, scanning and doing my coaching training and whatever, is what was the journey that I had with my good self? And often I was very disappointed, okay? So in the next 40 minutes, I want to share with you a path forward in your life that you can also pursue, okay? But you need to know about me first, okay? Now, while we started, I just want to share something with you, all right? Because you're all looking at me, okay? Very powerful, okay? Always bear that in mind. Okay, so what you're going to hear today is a bit about myself, my story, how BodyFitMind came about, the vision that I have for the future. It's in its infancy. The three pillars of well-being that what happens to all of us in when you get the balance, the synchronicity of those three elements correct. Okay, my moments of breakthrough, and I'm 65 now, and I spent a long time getting it wrong. Okay, but just to show you younger people, there is hope. Okay. Now, I want to share a secret with you, all right? And this is just between us today. I wouldn't want it to go anywhere else, okay? I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't know what you're expecting today, some fantastically built person who's super fit, has got his life in order. I'm not there yet, and no one is. But what we are, and what you are, and I'm included, is as human beings, we are amazing and we are full of potential yet to be explored, okay? I want to share this with you, okay? I was born in Birmingham, England. Does anybody watch Peaky Blinders? Great show. I was actually, the area where that's set, that's where I grew up, Small Heath, okay? So what you might find is periodically I might just slip into a bit of a Brummie accent, okay? So just put your hand up and get me back on track. I was grammar school educated. I got that accent knocked out of me, I can assure you, all right? Let me just go back with that. So, eldest of 5 kids, working class family. University wasn't an option for me, okay? I grew up, I did my GCSEs, which is Leaving Cert equivalent here. I got the right grades, and then I was out to work. There was no ifs and buts, you know. University was for the rich kids, and my father was an engineer, and I was encouraged to take up an apprenticeship in engineering, 5-year apprenticeship. I can only say I hated every moment of it, every moment. But there was nothing I could do. And so one thing I learned, you have to stick with it. It was on the other side of Birmingham. The journey was nearly an hour a day. I know that for some people now that's quite short, but it was something that I really disliked. But because I was expected to do the right thing, I did the right thing, yeah? That's one thing I learned very early on. When I came out of that, I just wanted to get out of it, and I was searching for a couple of years, various jobs, recruitment, sales, estimating for a door company, and I got a job working in the automotive industry as an estimator. Nothing grand, nothing fantastic. And I'd been in the job 2 weeks when the manager, God bless him, came out. He said, we've got some good news and bad news. And I went, Arthur, what is it? He said, I know you've only been here 2 weeks, but we're closing down the department and we're moving it to South Wales. Now, I don't know if you know England, but South Wales is a fair distance away, okay? And whilst I love Welsh people, I didn't fancy working in Cwmbran, which I'd read a lot about. So I said, well, Arthur, I'm not ready to do that. I was 23, 24. He said, well, don't worry. He says, you work for the Lucas Group, big group as it was at the time. He says, we'll find another job for you. So every morning he came in, yeah, with this big pile of jobs, yeah, and he called us, those who agreed not to go to South Wales were going to be found another job within the group. And he came in with his pile of jobs, literally like a stack of papers like this, thumbing through them, and he called me in. He said, Paul, I have got the job for you. And I said, have you? And he said, no, I have. I've got the job for you. He said, and it's here. And he placed it on the side of the table. He says, now, and he put his hand on the other. He says, before anything else, he said, I want you to go for an interview for this one. And I said, well, what is it, Arthur? He said, Press and Public Relations Officer for Lucas Group. How does that sound? I've got no idea what you're talking about. No idea. I hadn't heard what press and PR was all about. And I said, look, can you just show me the other? He says, no, I'm sorry. He says, this is the one you're going to go for. He says, if you don't get this job, he said, I will show you the others. So I agreed. But what he did, he saw something in me, because obviously you could see I could write, as you can as well. He saw something in me that pushed me forward, and I went to that interview, and it started a 25-year career in PR for me. Now, I call that divine intervention, okay? I hadn't chosen my career path. I was searching for where I was going forward, but I had opened myself up to opportunity, and that's a key thing, okay? So 25 years in PR, I got married, I got divorced, I had a son, led a pretty normal life. I didn't have any major disasters. I did set up my own business in the PR side, and then my big moment came. I remember it very well, and I'm going to talk to you about emotion today. The whole business went. It was in a crash in the 90s, and I realised at the point I'd lost track of keeping my eye on it. I'd got a partner who was active in the business, and we just got it so wrong. We were the fastest growing marketing and PR company in the Midlands area, and we just lost it. We went from 4 people to 30 people in the space of 18 months, too fast. And I remember handing in the keys to my car, getting on the train to go home. I was living in Lichfield at the time. And I was finished. I was absolutely finished. The only thing that kept me going was, at the time, my partner and my son. If anything else, I could have done something seriously wrong. By luck, I got introduced to Tony Robbins, okay? So I remember I'd got £300 to buy a computer to get myself set up properly, and I ended up buying a ticket to go and see Tony Robbins. The sales guy was brilliant, and I hadn't really checked him out. I'd seen an ad in Richard Branson's Virgin magazine when I was travelling down to see a friend, and it was black and white. It was terrible. So I rang them up and said, your ads are awful. I can help you with that. And then he sold me a ticket to see Tony Robbins, my last £300. Okay. And I walked in there, not really knowing much. And I walked in, I got my pack, the 5,000 people in the centre in Docklands in London, the Excel Centre. And I walked in, it was a Thursday afternoon, and they're all there, giving it large and dancing. And I walked in and went, oh my God, it's a religious cult. could not believe it. And there was a group of us at the back, sitting at the back like this, going, oh my God, these people are mental, absolutely mental. And then the big build-up, big screens, everything, you know, it was just like a rock show. And in he comes, does anybody know Tony Robbins? Yeah, you're all familiar with him. If not, he's one of the world's best life coaches. Yeah, and he comes on. He's about 6'28". He's a big guy, and he comes on. His big hands, you know. Hi, my name's Tony Robbins, and I went, shit, he's American. Not only is he a religious cult, but he's American, and he's taking all my money. Listen, within 5 minutes, I could see he was talking from here. Not here. And he said, anybody who's new here today, anybody new here today, he said, and we're all at the back going, we are. Okay. He said, at any point during this weekend, if it's not right for you, okay, then please, he said, go to the administration desk and give your pack back and we'll give you a full refund. And that put my mind at rest. So the first night was the firewalk. I wasn't doing that, by the way. So the firewalk, I think it was 7,000 or 8,000 people at our gig. The firewalk, 11 o'clock at night, in the car park of the Excel Centre. He's got everybody psyched up. Jungle drums playing. We all take our shoes and socks off. And I thought, I might give this a go. And as you walk out into the car park, it's aglow with hot coals and ambulances and firemen, which didn't help. And he gets you in a state, and you're in that state, and you go, call Moss, call Moss, call Moss, and you do it. And guess what? Not one burnt foot. And it showed me the power that we have within ourselves, okay? The power that we have in ourselves to do anything really, I mean, with sensible, but anything really that we can do to achieve what we want. So I came out there, saved me, absolutely saved me. I was on a downward spiral. One of the things that I did, and I was working on me, you know, searching to be the best person that I'd ever met, was that I got, I was never really abused or anything like that as a child, yeah, but I did have some scary moments. I remember being on the beach in Cliftonville in Margate, east of England, at a very young age, being sat in a rubber ring that my dad had put me in and pushed me out to sea. I don't know whether he was trying to get rid of me then or later. But I had a moment, I think it was between the ages 6 and 8, and the thing turned over, but because I'd sat in it so deeply, I was stuck, and I was drowning. I was, everything, I had that moment, I don't know if anyone's had that moment where they might have drowned, okay? But I was stuck in that rubber ring, and everything slowed down, and I'd taken in water, and it was a most unreal experience. It was scary, but it was kind of surreal as well. And then my dad came in, lifted me out, rescued me. And what I find with that is whatever moments you've had in your life associated, that your subconscious works very well, and it will repeat the emotions attached to things that happen in your life. Subconscious doesn't know whether it's real or a replay, okay? So you get to know. Has anyone got a favourite song that brings back a memory? And when you play that song, you get the same emotion. You get that feeling. You know, could be something, could be a loved one, could be when you first met your partner, your first time you kissed, whatever it was, okay? That emotion is attached to you and your subconscious. And what it does, it pushes it forward into the conscious mind and you relive it, okay? This is what happens to a lot of people. So, moving forward, I got my PR consultancy underway. I went to see him again because you can't take in 4 days everything in that Robbins teaches you. So I went there again, and out of it, on the last day, was the nutrition and fitness day, which I hadn't really paid much attention to the first time I went. And I came out of there, and for the first time I joined a gym. I wasn't fit at the time. I'm not fit now, but I wasn't as fit as I am now at the time. So I joined a gym, and I picked up some work with, it was a company called Fitness First, doing some evening work on member services, ringing people up and going, why haven't you come to the gym? We love you and miss you. Because I'm not coming to the gym. I didn't realise I was a member. Can you cancel my membership? Goodbye. You know those calls. Okay, so after a period of time, the manager left. I was working at home, single, just me, working alone, doing my stuff. It was okay, I wasn't complaining. And they said, would you like to be general manager of this gym? We like what you've done so far. So I took that on board, and that's how I then spent my next 15 years, okay, in the gym business. I moved from I was living in Coventry at the time, then to Dublin to run a gym based in Dublin 6. At the time, LA Fitness, now the Dartry Health Club. Great club, great, and great people. And I loved the members. That was, you know, I'm a people person. I just absolutely loved the stories, the journeys that people were having, okay? So it was kind of like a great, if you like, experience for me to be in Dublin. I came, I met the girl of my dreams, finally, lovely Mags. I inherited 3 teenage daughters. That was scary, okay? Still is. They're all grown up now. My own son, his life has moved forward, so he's now a head chef in Leamington in England. So life changed for me. Dublin was the first real opportunity for me to come and get a grip and really get excited about the future of my life. Even at the age I was, I felt I was never confident that my life was going to turn out to be anything, and I was so wrong. I was so wrong. And we're going to cover today the reason what held me back, and it's the reason that holds so many other people back. So for me, it's been a great learning process. I've done my coaching training. The one thing I embraced very, very full on, I was passionate about the one thing that held me back, albeit negatively, okay? So it kind of ended up for me like a bit of an awakening. The great thing that I learned during that time, okay, and I want to thank you all, is Google opened the world to me. I set up, okay, I took a settlement from the gym, and I decided that I'm going to be a life coach. Now, the settlement was generous. So for the first 6 months, Google was my best friend. Now, what you've done, Google, is you have let some people out of the asylum, okay? Because I learned in that time that the Earth is flat, okay? Aliens do live on the moon and Mars, okay? There are so many things out there that the rabbit hole is incredible, okay? And it just shows you that you have to be very careful what you observe. So I got myself back on track. I learned and connected with a lot of great people. Life coaching is one of the biggest, fastest growing businesses, certainly in the States. And it's the area that I feel very passionate about. And I started, and yesterday I had my hair cut, okay? And it's my first ever client who was looking to change and move herself forward. And this is what I love about coaching, okay? She only ever had a dream of having a hair salon, only a dream. And all of the self-doubt, all of the restrictions, all of her disbelief that it could happen to her, we managed to get through that. And she opened with her partner, a small salon in Smithfield, okay? And it's called Hair Cafe Salon. And yesterday, I had the pleasure of going over there to their new salon, which is just a couple hundred yards away, 5 times the size of the small one that they've got. And she came up to me, bear with me, she came up to me and said, Paul, do you remember when I said this was a dream and you showed me the path forward and gave me the biggest hug ever. It was so beautiful. That is the satisfaction as far as I'm concerned about coaching. Yeah, I don't want to be massively rich, but I'd like a little bit more money, please, okay? Because I've invested a lot so far. So it's kind of like a great reward, a great passion for me. What I learned in the health club business is there are a lot of people who are physically fit but mentally unfit. A lot of people that used my gym were on the treadmill for 50 minutes, and I'd say, you're training for a marathon? No, I always come and do this with their sad eyes. That was their life, you know. And it showed me that whilst fitness is so very important for all of us, okay, there is more to it. Nutrition is so important, okay, and your mental fitness is affected by both of those areas, okay. So I decided that my coaching approach was yes, as a life coach, okay, but I want to work with other people. I don't want to be a singular person going, hey, I'm Paul Hodson, and they all go, oh God, he's English. Okay. I want to work with other people, and I came up with the concept of BodyFitMind, which is going to be a collaboration of like-minded people, professionals in the nutrition area, professionals in the fitness area, professionals in the coaching area, but a go-to source of information, training, online courses, so many things to improve our lives. Okay. And there you go, the 3 of them: mental fitness, physical function, and nutrition. So, integrated approach about maximising well-being. And once one of those is out of sync, if you are fit, and I know a lot of people were, but were eating badly, okay, or mentally not right, okay, then you're not well, period. You think you're well, but you're not well. You haven't got those. If you take those as the 3 spokes in the wheel of life, you're not rolling forward perfectly like you should do. And you're able to do that. You're all capable of getting that right. And I hear somebody say, how? And I'm going to share this with you. Okay? It's early days. I'm going to fall down this hole in a minute. It's early days. It's designed to be a collaboration of like-minded people, self-improvement, a go-to resource. And what I want to be able to do as well, at some point, when we are succeeding, is to give something back to those who need it most, but who may not be able to afford it. We have to do that. In all of us, in being the best person you've met, you've got to give something back. Okay? Growth and contribution are very important elements in our lives, and I'm going to cover that in more detail as well. I remember it was 2008. I was 2 years into the health club in Dublin, and my assistant manager, Lisa, who was also a fitness professional, gave me a book. You may well have read this book yourself, called The Secret. Has anyone read that? Yeah? Out of interest, how many people have read The Secret or watched the DVD? So there's a good number of you, okay? It sold 20 million copies worldwide, and it's been translated into 50 languages. 50, I didn't even know there were 30 languages, 50 languages. I'd always been interested in personal development, but I'd failed to carry the momentum of those events forward. you go along to a Robins event, and if you can go, it's on every year in London, unless you want to go to America, if you want in there. You go to the event, you get out there, and everybody's like-minded, and you're having a great time, and it's high fives, and then you get back into the real world, okay? What happens is people go, is he a bit tapped now, or what? Has he lost his mind? Family and friends go, calm down, what's the matter with you? You know, are you okay? What did they do to you when you went down there? You know, and gradually you slip back into normality as they see it, not your normality. Because you're going round to it. I went to this great event and oh, here he is again. yeah. What I found is the great thing about becoming aware and awake is spiritually, because that comes into it later once you start getting up there. Spiritually, you become 2 foot taller. Okay? So when you walk into a bar or a room or a gathering, as you look metaphorically across the room, you only connect with like-minded people. Now, I'm not dismissing those people who are not as spiritual as you are, okay, or connected or as learned as you are. But those are the people that you want to be connecting with. Because one of the things that I had to do was change my peer group. You know, I had one point where even my son went, "Oh, don't give me that nonsense, Dad." I mean, he's different now because I've been working on him. But, you know, it is the people that you are going to be around. And I think it's Robbins that says the 5 people that you spend most of your time with are the people that will shape you for the future, because it's their influence on you. So be mindful of that, okay? So I got my spark. It was amazing, okay? And that book, thank you, Lisa Martin, set me on the path, okay? I was doing my stuff, and then what did I do? I went and told everybody I was going to be a life coach. Fantastic. I went, and 6 years later, I was still telling people I'm going to be a life coach. 2012 came. I'm going to be a life coach. I'm going to be a life coach. I've just spent 5,000 quid on the course. Brilliant. 2 years later, 2014, there was the course. I'd started it. In fairness, I'd done 2 modules. Yeah. But I was telling everybody, and all I was doing was talking the talk. And as Robin says, don't talk the talk, walk the walk. Okay? So what was wrong with me? I just went into myself. I didn't have the self-belief. I didn't have the commitment. I wasn't ready for it, obviously, because my journey with me was more about learning from my experiences, but not being the best pupil, perhaps. Okay? So there's one thing holding me back. This is what I learned. Being kinder to myself is what I also learned. I stopped blaming others for where I was. I was livid when I lost my business. I blamed everybody. It was my fault. I took my eyes off the ball. It's my own fault. I got what I deserved, but I can now live with that. Okay? And also, I was beginning to understand how my mind worked. Okay? The power of my emotions and my thinking. So, the one thing I realised, being kinder to myself. I got rid of my stinking thinking. Okay? I looked deep within myself. I exercised, and I woke up earlier. I reviewed what food I was eating. Okay? And I practice gratitude on a daily basis. And that's not like going, oh, thank you. It's just being grateful that you've got another sunny morning, as we've had in Dublin for the last 3 weeks. Okay? Just be grateful for the smallest things in your life, that you've actually got a bed to sleep on. Be grateful. And I tell you what, when you're being grateful, you can't be depressed. Those two don't live together. So gratitude is a powerful lift. Okay? I hadn't really read anything for 20 years. Really. I pick a book up, I buy a book, and I put it down, and nothing was inspiring me. And with The Secret, that opened up a whole new world for me. So, The Secret was the 4 Agreements. Has anyone read The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz? Goes back to the Toltec civilization in South America, okay? And it's the most amazing book, just 4 agreements that we live with. And if I can find my slide, I'll tell you what they are. The agreements are life-changing if you can embrace them, okay? I have a slide on this in a few moments. But I'd read books early on, you know, Grow Rich While You Sleep, As Man Thinketh, which is one of the very earliest personal development books, goes back to 1918. Psycho-Cybernetics, The One Thing, Man's Search for Meaning. These, I mean, my book, it's my Kindle now actually, my Kindle is heavy, okay? It's probably, I've 40, 50 books now. I've probably read more books in the last 12 months than I had in the last 20 years, seriously. And that's where you've got to be. You really have to be there, because it's about your journey. So, this had a real impact on me, okay? 4 simple things to lead you forward. Be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. I'm laughing because I can know some of you going, no way. I love gossiping about people. Love that, okay? It's a powerful, powerful thing. It's a powerful discipline to have. Don't take anything personally. Usually, if someone is giving you a bad time, it's because they're having a bad time themselves. Really. Okay? Don't make assumptions. Don't assume. What is the definition of assume? Makes an ass out of you and me. Assume. Simple. So very clear and obvious, but we do make those assumptions. And always do your best. Some days you'll be better than others. Some days you will be on top form, other days you won't, okay? But as long as you go home and you can say, I've done my best, that's fine, okay? So, powerful stuff. All of this stuff, all of this information is available to you. Read more, exercise more, learn something new. I was speaking earlier about Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, which is kind of fundamental about mindfulness. So if you are into learning something new, look at yoga and mindfulness, because that is such a powerful thing to get your head in the right place to learn and grow. Being in the now, you know, when your head's racing forward and you're thinking back and all of that's distracting you, okay? Change your story. That's what Robbins... I was blaming everyone. I came out of there, Robbins went, change your story. My story was, you know, I lost my business because, you know, he ran off with the money and they never liked me anyway, the people who work for. I gave them the job. Oh, I was pathetic. I was pathetic. But change your story, okay? Volunteer. I did a year with Alone. I went and looked after a guy who was deaf and partially sighted. And when they coupled me with him, I went, well, how am I going to talk to him? I mean, you know, he's deaf and he won't even see me. And he was partially sighted, and we used to have a little whiteboard with a pen. And I'd say, hello, Michael, how are you? And he'd take it off me with his big, thick spyglass, and he'd write. And that's how we communicated for 9 months. And you know, I got to the point where I said to Mags one day, I said, look, Mags, I really haven't got time to go and see Michael anymore. And she went, are you sure about that? I went, yeah, but I mean, I'm really busy. She said, you spend 1 hour a week with him. She said, his week is when you arrive to see him, because that's what it's about. Think about that. So I did, and I carried on. And alone, you only look after or connect with an older person for 12 months. So I'm going to do it again and do it to someone else. But so rewarding, so rewarding. Food. I'm not going to give you a superb diet plan today. There are so many things out there, but be sensible about your food. Sugar is the worst thing. It's got 67 disguises when you look at the contents on the back of any food that you buy. You know, oh, there's no sugar in this. Fructose, what's that? Isn't that? Yeah, it's sugar. Okay, understand how sugar is disguised. Yeah, because it's worse than heroin. You're addicted to it. You know, it is worse, and it's killing people, and it's making them obese, and it's damaging their health. Okay, you look at what you're eating, and lots more. I didn't become vegetarian, but I tried a 60-day no meat program, and it worked for me. It was great. But I'm not saying I have probably red meat once or twice a week. Organic, if you can get it. Same with your vegetables. Go fresh. You know, anything in a tin or a packet might be full of preservatives. You know, just be mindful. You can live and eat a better way. Get a coach. There's loads of us now. Okay, but seriously, if you want to change in your life, you might need someone just to give you that direction, to be that hand of support, to be that person that you can share some of your deepest fears with without being judged, but help you through what might be a challenge, to give you that courage to step out onto a firewalk. Okay, all of that is available to you, but find a coach. Okay, a very quick interlude. I can see that we're all kind of, raring to go. I'm going to just give you some of the I'm very visually empowered. Okay, so I like to have a lot of things that influence me. So you can do that, and I just want to share some stuff with you. Okay, and all of these are on my Instagram page, by the way, BodyFitMind Instagram. So these are some of the things that have inspired me, or I've heard, or what I've created myself. But as somebody's always doing what somebody else said couldn't be done, how true is that? How true is that? You hear the story about Colonel Sanders and KFC. 1,000 stops he made. 1,000. He travelled the country. He travelled America with his recipe for chicken. 1,000 no's he got. 1,000 plus no's. And he was my age, he was in his 60s, but he never gave up, okay? He never gave up. The perfect day, going to bed with a dream and waking up with a purpose. How powerful is that? I love that one. This is very powerful as well, with this journey, becoming and meeting the better person that's within you, okay? When you love yourself enough, you begin to see your purpose, and you can gently wean yourself off distractions. This is very close to me as well. I mean, we all know people who may suffer with eating disorders, I do, or addictions, who know that they're damaging their bodies, okay? This is a quote by E. Cummings, and I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath and replied, I've been waiting my whole life for this. How powerful is that? That's me a couple of years' time. Stretch the wrinkles. Searching for happiness. Everybody's searching for happiness. Yeah? The tools that you need to find that happiness are within you. Be more helpful, be more grateful, be kinder, share more, and love more. How you feel in the morning is going to determine your day, okay, the rest of your day. Now, I bought into the idea, my most creative time, some people are morning people, some people are afternoon people, some people are evening people. That's BS, okay? I was an afternoon person because I lay in bed for the first 4 hours of the day, yeah? Oh, I'm going to be great this afternoon, but I'm not a morning person anyway, okay? Okay? The best time, your most creative time, is when you wake up, okay? The first 2 hours of your day, the discipline that you need to be doing, yeah? Don't, I mean, I'm guilty myself. You wake up and you're like this, morning love. Hang on, I'm just going through this, I've got a message, yeah? Everybody's doing it. Don't turn your phone on. Go and sit yourself outside if you can. Have a coffee, embrace what's around you, okay? One of the things that we've done, my partner and I, and that's why I was so happy to see the dog here, in order for us to move forward, we sat down and we said, what do we want to do that we can do together? And we listed everything we liked, and we liked dogs. And last year, we launched Naturally Barking Mad. Doggy daycare, dog walking, you know, a few dogs here. It's unbelievable. People think more about their dogs than they do themselves, okay? And through that, it's a bit tough at the moment because dogs obviously don't know the time, okay? And when they're staying over, so when they see that it's light, okay, they bark. So June the 21st being the longest day of the year at 4:30, we're up because the dogs need to go outside. We have 2 dogs of our own, they need to be fed, and it's dark at 11 o'clock, so we've had some long days, but it's brilliant because we love dogs, okay? And this is how I came here today, through Leanne, yeah, looking after her dog. There he is. One of my favourites, Todd. Absolutely gorgeous man. He's got attitude, but I love him to bits. So we looked beyond what we thought were our capabilities, and just by doing that, just by me looking inward, Mags looking inward, we found something that really excited us. And, you know, we haven't looked back really on that. Okay. So, sorry about this. One of the things I learned on my Robbins training is these are the 6 human needs that we all have as human beings, okay? Everyone, and usually 2 of these are driving forward in your life. Mine was, and it changes as you grow. So there is a test, and if anyone wants to do a test, please contact me, and I'm more than happy to give you a free. It's not like a tarot card reading or anything like that. A free analysis that you can use to direct yourself. Certainty, okay? Certainty. That's the first need. There are 4 needs that are important in terms of human needs concept, but growth and contribution are a little bit more spiritual, okay? So certainty, we all need to have certainty. We all need to know that when you go home tonight, you've got a house to live in, okay? Got all of that. But also we need variety, because if you were certain, you know, you need some variety in your life, okay? Significance. And people can use these both positively and negatively. Love and connection, we all need that love and connection. If a baby is born and it's disconnected from its mother and left alone, it will die. You know, it needs that physical contact to thrive. Growth, a big one for me. We've got to be growing all of the time. If we're not growing, we're dying. Okay? And contribution at some point in time gives something back. I see people. I know, you know, we've got a lot of homeless people, but I see people regularly helping people out on the street. It's sad that they're in that situation. If I could help and change that, I would do that. We all need to think hard about that. But, you know, I know that they've got problems, but if I give that guy a coffee, and I do, or a €2 please, people will go and be judgmental. Yeah. He's going to buy drugs with that. You know? What if he's going to buy drugs with it? I'm sorry, I'm not feeding his habit, but I'm trying to help him, okay? Don't judge people, just help them, give them some help. And sometimes don't give them money, give them food, give them something to drink. So, you know, growth and contribution. Those are the 6 human needs. There's a whole presentation, and I'm not going to keep you too much longer on that. So I can do that for you. If anyone is interested, please contact me. I'd be honoured to share that information with you. So the one thing. Any ideas? What is the one thing that holds most people back? Fear. The one thing. Sorry? Fear. Yeah. Anything else?
Doubt.
Sorry?
Doubt. Doubt. Self-doubt.
Self-doubt. Yeah. Anything else? It's
Other people sometimes.
Sorry?
Use things that other people will do.
So being judged.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Those are all collective items, and they are all very, very, very significant. But this is the simplest thing of all. This is the one thing. When I got my head around this, I didn't realise that this was me. When I got my head around it, I thought, how can I have been like this for so long? How could I have been like this for so long? Procrastination. It's such a simple thing. Everybody does it. Oh, you have your to-do list. Yeah? You build the barriers. You don't get off your backside and do the things that you need to do. You are scared to do the things you need to do. Yeah? You dislike, you're bored with the things you need to do. And it's easily resolved, because once you get that right and you take action, your life changes. Your life will change. I was the world's worst, you know. My training to be a coach, I thought about it in 2008, and I didn't become a coach, yeah, until 2015-16, yeah. Those were the things, purely for no other reason than procrastination. No other reason. I didn't do what was necessary to do what I needed to do. So in doing that, by taking action, by having a plan, and yes, I know it's the sales pitch, I've written a book, and it's my first book, and it's the first book in the series of other books I'm working on, and I'm trying not to procrastinate to write the second, but I have a title for it, and it's just about getting that done. And I've read, and if you do Amazon search, there's loads of books on procrastination. There's science on procrastination. There's people trying to understand what procrastination is all about. It's just, you can do it. Just be active. Get to do what you need to do. Okay? 5 steps. Stop the distraction and get a grip. Okay? Do the one thing. There's a great book on that. Do the one thing. Don't try and multitask. We cannot we think we can multitask, but we can only do one thing at a time. Get organised. Get organised. I have a diary, a paper diary. Okay. Does anyone keep a journal? No. No one keeps a journal. Some of the greatest minds in the world keep a journal. This is your journey with yourself. Do this every day. Get yourself, and no, don't go, oh, I really hated my hair this morning and I feel so fat. I can't, no, it's not designed for that. Keep it positive, okay? Capture all your memories, and as they build up, yeah, you'll be amazed how many great ideas you've had that you forgot about, okay? And do what you need to do, okay? So, focus is the one thing that really worked for me. Once I found, somebody used to say, Paul, you're not focused, and I get really negative. They were right. I get really negative. Focus is the one great thing that we all need to explore and find. Don't go back, okay? Once you've mastered procrastination, don't go back. Okay, so energy. Brain scientists can measure energy levels in key areas of our body now. There's there's a TED talk by Dr. Wendy Suzuki, who's a neuroscientist, who shows and can measure the power of exercise and all those great things it releases in the chemistry of our brains, measured electrically within our brains. the very skin that we have, yeah, wasn't the skin we had 12 months ago. Every cell in our body has been replaced, yeah? So, you know, the you that sits here now is not the you that was here last year. Don't worry about that, no. You're grand. So, thoughts and energy. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about the now, so I know it's a little bit woo, okay, but he talks about the quantum field, where what we think is what we attract. That so works. Our vision board at home, vision boards are good as well, yeah? There's got dogs on it. When we first did it 18 months ago, doggy business. And I said, Mags, take it down. We have enough dogs to look after. Okay? It works. Believe that it works. Okay? And our subconscious runs in the background but drives our experience and forms our habits. It's not conscious of what is real or what is not real. Whether it's a memory or it's happening now, it still stirs up the same emotions within you. I think you've had enough of me talking, okay? I'm going to show you how the energy works in your body, okay? I want you all to stand up. Okay? Find a little bit of space, okay? Put down your stuff. Obviously, I'm going to show you a 2-minute exercise. Oh, here's the runners. I'm going to show you in 2 minutes and demonstrate to you, okay, just how energized your body is, okay? Now, you're going to have to bear with me on this, okay? All you've got to do, and watch me, okay, is I want you to bounce like this, okay? And I want you to really shake those hands. So we've actually got some real good momentum. Are you good with that, yeah? Okay, I know there's a few wobbly bits going around, but don't worry about that, okay? Are you ready? 2 minutes. If I can get this started. There's a timer here. Can you get that to start? Didn't move the mouse. Okay, here we go. Here we go. 2 minutes of this now. You're grand. We've already gone 10 seconds. Look, keep that going. Keep that energy going, yeah? Bounce. Yeah, I can feel the floor moving, it's brilliant. Our combined weight brought down the Google building. Yeah, so just keep that going and just bounce and feel those legs moving, okay? If you want to jump up a bit, you can, okay? But don't bang your head on the TV there. So we've got, and this is what, all of this energy is going through your body, okay? And at the end of this, you're going to be so amazed because we've got this shared electrical energy going through really effectively. Now, okay, good, I like fast handshake. We're nearly a minute in. Come on, let's stay with it. Okay, you can have a drink afterwards. You can lie down afterwards if you want. Yeah? So let's keep that going. Those shaky hands, those wobbly bits, those... Can you feel your calves tightening up? I can. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And just if you're feeling a little bit hard on the legs, just do the upper body. Keep that going. 42 seconds in. Okay. That'll be good. Anybody tired yet? It's going 2 minutes. This is killing me. Oh my God. 30 seconds. Counting down. Okay. Are you ready? This is an exercise you can do every morning when you wake up. Obviously not naked, because that could damage you. Okay, so we've got it. We're moving. 16. Okay, nearly there, guys. 2 minutes of this. Seems so long, doesn't it? Since we started this, yeah? Okay, and you've not really done much, except shake around a bit. There we go, now stop. Stop. Okay, now put your arms out. Can you feel that tingle? Can you feel the tingling in your body? Anybody? Yeah? That is energy that you've just released by moving around, rushing through every cell in your body. Look at that. That is so simple. Huh? If you ever feel tired, do that for 2 minutes. But try and do that every morning if you can. Thank you. Okay, we're nearly done. hang on, we're nearly done. I have 4 minutes of your time to share something with you that I saw the other day, and it's just a bit of a motivational speech, okay? So please bear with me. Oh, hang on, I'm doing this wrong again, aren't I? There we go. Okay. Oh, it's an
So
ad.
many of you are looking for fulfillment
Any volume on
where
that?
it can never be found. You are looking for fulfillment in things, possessions, money, recognition. You're looking for fulfillment in another person, praise from a parent, love from another person, a well done from the world. But here's the problem. You can never find it outside of you. It can only be found within you. All the happiness and joy you could ever hope for and more, it is within you now.
The truth is, we don't need all those other things to complete our life. We don't need anything outside ourselves to be happy right now. Think back to a time in your life you didn't have those things you seek, but were still happy. Perhaps when you were a child, perhaps not too long ago. The reason why you were happy without those things is down to what you chose to focus on. Your focus wasn't on what was not there. It was on what was there, and happiness is always there if you choose to focus on finding it. We tend to always look for happiness outside ourselves, but we all know that it doesn't come from there. Whatever we perceive as reality becomes our reality. If you listen to the world and the opinions of others, you may well come to believe that happiness is only gained once you make money or get that nice car, that great house. Why do we want those things anyway? Why do we want the car, the house, the money, that perfect person? All of it without exception we want because we believe getting it will make us better. We believe it will make us feel better, make us feel happier.
Don't get dragged into the expectations of society. You don't need this or that to be happy and complete. What you need is always within you. It never goes away. You are complete right now. Look within you. Feel the truth that is. You can decide to be happy right now. Find something to be grateful for. Choose to lift others up. Give attention rather than seek it. Find your life's purpose and set goals that light the spark within you. Believe in yourself. Believe you deserve it all. Believe your life has meaning. There is nothing you cannot accomplish when you are free from the burden of looking for things outside of yourself to fulfill you. Just know you have the answers. Trust your intuition. Trust everything will be okay in the end. Everything will be great in the end. Everything will be magical in the end.
That's it, guys. I just want to say one thing to you, okay? Sorry, can I just get that back to the final screen? I want to say thank you so much for sharing this time with me today. It's been my pleasure and an honour to be amongst you. You've been a great group to talk to, and you know that's it. It's all about that journey. It's all about your search, and you know I want to thank you. I want to thank Leanne for bringing the dog into my life and bringing me into contact with the team. The team themselves have been brilliant. You've been the best audience I've ever talked to. Seriously. I'm working hard to be the best person I've ever met, okay? And I want you to do the same. If you can do it, if we can all do it individually, you know, we can make a world better place for our children. You know, we worry about, you know, what's happening in the world, but individually, one by one, we can make a difference. And maybe we can make a better world for our children and our children's children, just by being the best person you ever met. Thank you very much. I'm honoured to be here.